Roll. No, that's a pretty red district.
That's a very red district.
Welcome everyone to committee meeting for Tuesday, November 12th. Everyone enjoyed their Veterans Day. Start off with county services.
And the Marine Corps birthday.
And Marine Corps birthday.
240 years. There you go.
And the Marine Corps birthday.
Exactly.
Number 5,
We're dying.
open up county services at 6:01. We have a bunch of action items, a dozen. Number 1, authorizing the Commissioner, Greene County Department of Social Services to execute annual mandated court-ordered contracts and/or memorandums of understanding on behalf of Greene County. Move that. Do we have a second?
Like.
Leg, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Authorizing an advertisement for food and supply bid, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, and the Sheriff's Department.
True.
Lucas.
True and Lucas?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Authorizing agreement between Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, and Anytime Home Care, Inc.
Overbought.
Overbought.
True.
True. Do we have anybody opposed to that? All in favor?
Aye.
That is carried. We all up there, didn't I? Number 4, authorizing agreement between Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, and Catskill Mountain Housing Development Corporation.
Overbought.
Overbought, and I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Authorizing agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, and Kevin Kelleher, attorney.
Overbought.
Overbought. Who was that with the other one?
Lucas.
Lucas.
Can I just ask a question, Mr. Chairman? Do we have a list of like how many people they're actually servicing? Like, or can we get a list of how many they had and this guy had in the last year?
Absolutely,
Thank you.
yeah.
I think it's important for us to know how many people he's actually seeing in Greene County. That's what I'm thinking. And he's
You
getting,
have to have it, but still not many.
he's getting quite a big salary.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Number 6, authorizing agreement between Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, and MSS Electronics, Inc., DBA Life Phone. I'll carry that. Who would like to second? Leg? Thank you for speaking up.
You woke up?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Okay. Authorizing agreement between Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, and Northeast Home Medical Supplies, Inc.
Overbought.
True and Overbought. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you much. That's carried. Number 8, authorizing agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, and Per Foods LLC, DBA Mom's Meals. I'll move that. Who would second it?
Second.
Leg, thank you again. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Number 9, authorizing lease agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, in the town of Carroll.
True.
True. You
Lavera,
want to second that? No?
Lavera will.
Lavera, True and Lavera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Number 10, authorizing lease agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, in the town of Catskill, Robert C. Antonelli Senior Center.
Lucas.
Overbought.
Lucas and Overbaugh. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Authorizing lease agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, in the town of Cooksaki.
Move that.
Second.
Linger.
Linger and who
Lavera.
seconded that?
Lavera.
Lavera. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 12, amending resolution number 244-24, funding allocations for Greene County Department of Human Services Youth Bureau.
True.
True.
Overbought.
True and Overbaugh. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is carried. Thank you very much. Is there anything else for county services this fine evening?
Make a motion to close.
Chairman Blumer, just one quick question. Back on the one resolution there with anytime home care, Tammy, I see it was 32 in the, in the, written part, but then on the contract part, it's saying
35?
35.
You know what? I will double check that. I believe 35 is the correct number.
That's
And
because
it's
it was
for both
34.
level.
Both
Yeah,
levels.
For both levels of care.
Okay, thanks, Kim.
One
Thank you,
other
Chair.
thing, Chair, the Pure Foods and Mom's Meals. I know we've had it in the past. Didn't they go out to bid once upon a time? Or how did we end up with them?
No, they would do a mail order.
Yeah.
They're able to provide the service that particular city. And what it is if someone is not on a route, so they couldn't be provided by a traditional way, or they have a
Oh.
special dietary,
That's right.
which has to be served in that way. Or the third thing is if they're not able, let's say if they're having ongoing medical treatment and they're not able to be home to receive the meals, then it's also an option.
Okay,
So we
I remember
have to
that now,
have
where the
that.
Meals on Wheels. bring it-
Well, it started with
It was
COVID.
frozen.
Right, and then.
We didn't have drivers.
Right.
No.
Really outlying areas. All right, we had a second, first and a second.
I just had one other question for the commissioner. Last month I brought up about chronic absenteeism and parental neglect. How social services doesn't consider that parental neglect. Are you able to do any more research on?
Okay, so it's not social services, it's the state.
Right.
So if the child passes the grade, then there's no impact.
But what I'm saying is that I'm hearing from teachers and constituents up on the mountain that there are issues. The teachers are helping the students get caught up so they don't fail. But there's obvious parental neglect, so you're saying that's a state issue.
So if there's no impact to the child and if they pass the grade, then yeah, there's no.
But there is an impact to the child.
So the state wants us all to help the kids so they do pass. So the state wants everybody, not only teachers, but everybody in the community to assist with the kids. to pass.
So is this maybe something?
But the definition of impact is only centered upon passing of the grade, not any other impact that child may have. Therein lies the issue.
So it seems like this is a state problem, you know, it's not just relevant to Greene County. Do you have any contacts with like superintendents throughout the county to see if,
Not regular, I certainly have contacts with them. I can
I'm thinking
float that balloon.
maybe let's get their input first. and
Well,
I'm hearing-
if they're reaching out to you, maybe they should reach out to myself or Jim if it's on the mountaintop and then we can.
Yeah, I don't think it's just the mountaintop, I think it's.
Well, you
just
said it's
reached
from
out
the
to me because
mountaintop.
I'm a teacher.
That could be, but you said it's from the
Sounds like a
mountaintop, so
definition.
why they wouldn't come out and
Sounds
say
like-
something to me or Jim is,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I mean,
I think it was a teacher.
Well, in the case like that,
well, you obviously brought up it was from the mountain. So you're trying to make a point. It's not like he said,
It's somebody
Greene County.
in the county reached out to him.
what do you think, Jim?
Yeah,
You feel kind of slighted?
not just,
Only, buddy, I don't.
Okay.
Under that
right,
law.
I don't know what you're trying to prove, but
I'm not trying to prove anything. It's
I'm
you were
bringing
saying
up
it's from the
serious
mountaintop.
problem.
The mountaintop would reach out to us legislators on the mountaintop.
Right, I mean, if there's a
If
problem on
they
the
reach out to
mountaintop,
them,
I'd hope they'd see us.
Offended by
it
it.
was one teacher. So you can take offense to it all you want, but it's a serious problem, and I think that, you know, we need to look into it regardless if it's just Greene County. It might be the entire state by their definition, you know, so maybe if there's something that we can do to advocate for that, I think it's worth investigating.
I'll send a letter to the couple superintendents.
Ira, in a case like this where you involving the school, where, okay, the kid passes, but say there's, obviously a teacher recognizes that this kid may be lacking nutrition or lacking good hygiene. Is that where social services, is there metrics for that?
So the
Two?
so we really have to see the impact so we can take a petition in front of the judge with family court.
Okay,
So, there's hearings, I know I forwarded them to Sean, there was actually a five-hour hearing over CPS and the hotline. There's lots of changes that the state's looking at. They really want less government entities in these lives. They want everyone else to try to assist before we come forward, because research is showing when you remove a child from a family, the work to put that family back together again is absolutely incredible. So the pendulum is really swinging on that, to the point where the discussion, I know you're not gonna like this, but, should educational neglect really be part of CPS? I mean, and it's a different philosophy of what should happen. Should we put millions of dollars back in prevention? I think COVID has really, taken the educational system and just basically destroyed it. And what we had before and what we have now is so different. Many kids aren't even going to school.
So maybe if we hear it from the superintendents, they would probably have a better idea if it's something they want us to address.
Does that particular school have a social worker on staff?
Well, all the schools do. I don't know what their attendance officers are. I don't think it's particular to just one school. I think this is across the state.
And I think I've heard it from almost all of our SRO.
Yeah, right.
They get down to the kid, see an issue, and they'll go and they'll sit down with that child and, they'll establish that relationship. And we've had a lot of other SROs and gotten much good results, and just been able to get services to people. We're saying meals and things like that, but they didn't even know they were eligible for it. The SROs that are seeing it in schools.
I think somebody from the Youth Bureau does do things with attendance.
Yes, we do have someone who does that kind of work, who intervenes in
And
those.
there was a county committee that kind of
That
oversaw.
shares that awareness, yes.
Mr. Chairman, I had a motion by Leg, and I didn't hear the second.
I'll second it.
Okay. No other questions? We are adjourned.
Yeah, he did. Budget.
Okay, let's call Public Works Committee to order at 6:13. The highway superintendent's report is ready. That's not what happened.
Santa Claus up there.
Yeah.
That right, Mike.
That's here.
See, that or more general.
Of the 7 bridges that I have listed on the agenda, they're all federal and state aid projects. Just a quick history of Greene County bridges. Board of Supervisors, many years ago, passed a resolution that says any bridge over 25 feet on a town or county road is the responsibility of Greene County. We have 140 bridges at this time. We picked up 3 bridges over this construction season, County Route 67, 83, and County Route 1. Next year, we'll be picking up another bridge from the town of Carroll, Polly's Rock. It's over 25 feet on a town road. I think that what you're seeing over the course of the DEC design standards, bridges are going to be more prevalent now. Culverts are increasing just because of the design standards and the flow capacity that is required from the storms that we're getting nowadays. So you will see the Greene County infrastructure expand. With the expansion, we're going to need, like Larry Gardner said during the budget hearing, additional funding. The state has been gracious enough to give us aid during this process, but eventually that is going to run out. So.
Question for you, Scott.
Sure.
I mean, we can engineer a bridge to go over anything. When they stopped digging out these streams for 100-year floods and we were worried about turbidity and saving fish and all the other DE stuff that goes involved, or that was involved before. I mean, are we raising bridges now just because we're not dredging streams and the flow of the water.
There are strict requirements by DEC that we cannot dredge or alter the channel of a stream or water course. So, yes, the requirements for the flow for a structure is increasing because of that. But that's the standards that we have to go by.
I get it.
But isn't it true that also that the bar is being raised by the 100-year flood, the 500-year flood? They're more common now than they were in the past. I mean, our water problems are not going away, they're increasing. So when you had a 12-inch culvert to handle something, now you need a 15 or 18-inch culvert because the water flow is increasing.
Yes.
Is that not true?
Correct.
Okay.
Scott, those 4 new bridges to the inventory, because that town or village replaced a bridge and extended the length,
Correct. Based on
so
design.
we get a new bridge,
Based on,
but it's now our bridge.
Correct.
because of the design.
So based on those 2 resolutions that were passed previously, we are now responsible for any bridges 25 feet or over. So if they're even remotely close to 25 feet, they're gonna make it 25 feet.
Well,
And
please, nobody shoot me, but do we change the resolution to 30 feet? Since we're no longer a board of supervisors.
I mean, realistically, in the next 10 years, there are probably gonna be no longer any bridges that are not on the Greene County inventory. I mean, they're all gonna be in ours. There's gonna be no more local bridges.
I don't know that increased rainfalls, the increased drainage, the excess rainstorms. And we're putting blacktop on everything, with shingling and roof, they're covering up the impervious surfaces. A lot of their stone driveways, they're far away, where it can't get down through it.
Yeah, we're seeing that on the edge of ditch lines, obviously, we're seeing a lot more runoff, we're getting larger storms.
And the more of that, the more erosion
3
inches.
Correct.
More water faster.
So getting to our local funded projects that are 100% fully funded by Greene County. Henry 1 culvert in the town of Halkett, which is turning into a bridge. That should be open to traffic in mid-December. 23C and 67 have been completed. 61 slope stabilization in the town of New Baltimore. 23B, 30 and 47 will be putting up a resolution next month for those, to put up budgets for those.
We're in 23B.
23B, and that's Jefferson Heights.
Never mind, okay.
And 30 is behind Price Chopper, 47 is prior to the new bridge that was built over the thruway on Pierce Farm. We also have,
Excuse me, Scott, on that note about next month's cycle, what Scott will be proposing is creation of 4 projects, capital account for engineering and with estimates for reconstruction. So those numbers are gonna be big. I think the Jefferson Heights slide itself is $2 to $3 million by itself.
yes,
And we have 4 of these. So this will be an important discussion point in order to fund these things, because as slides, who knows when they're gonna move at that point and wash out, so.
Is Jefferson Heights, has it affected the roadway yet?
it has not affected the roadway, but the sidewalk is completely, I mean, it's continuing to move. There's no chance of catastrophic failure, but it is slowly moving down the hill.
The road is not in jeopardy.
The road's, correct, the road has not been affected at all.
Sidewalk way.
So hopefully with that, we'll actually connect it to, and 30 and 47, we're hoping to do back to back. Just to get those, but these slides are not new, they've been around for probably 15 years or more. Just keep on paving over top of it, they keep on moving, we put, so It's something that we've been just avoiding for a very long time.
I know you got these technologies to repair these slope failures, but what's the difficult part about working with the landowners and changing the right of way so you go further into the bank and you dig the bank out away from the slide?
I think you just answered the question, working with the landowners on the right of way. They're taking their property.
I mean, we'll give them the property that's on the other side of the road or whatever. You know, just change the right of way.
Just getting temporary easements now for bridges that are the land gonna be given back is we're having difficulty.
Oh, like Sean said, these are gonna be huge dollar numbers to try to use this technology to repair these slides and you know, maybe you move away from the slide.
We've thought about doing that. It's the right of way process is far more difficult to go through with the purchase of it, and if they're not agreeable to the procedures that we have to follow for eminent domain or
I don't know, moving away from the slide stops the slide.
right, eventually it'll catch up to you.
Yeah, but the pressure of the road isn't on the slide anymore.
For like 23B, we're pretty much stuck where we are.
I'd be curious to see, I know it's a sinkhole up there now where it's the sidewalks are. But I'd be curious to fill that in so the water can't go into it to see if it continues to sink.
And that's why, as we first did the geotech on that, soil borings and inclinometers. Once we figured out what the depth of the failure is, we realized that we're gonna have to do more drainage. So we're gonna have to tie the drainage ends, keep the water away from that area. What you're saying,
I
the
think
more water
that's
that
all,
gets into it, it's
I think
saturates
that's all
it.
building sand there.
Yeah, but even if you fill it in,
Like-
the water's gonna go around it, it's still gonna wash it out.
Right.
I mean, you're not, right, what are you gonna do? You gotta fix it.
So back onto the projects. County Route 2, there's 2 culverts on County Route 2. We've been there for quite a while, working our way all the way through that road on different culverts. So we have 2 more happening next year as well. On the engineering side, investigating and addressing drainage complaints, we're continuing to get those, even though we haven't had tremendous rain recently. Just one thing I'd like to note to everybody about, we have been questioned on speed limit reductions. Just to go over you with board on what the process is. The town boards, whether it's a town road, a county road, the process is determined by New York State DOT, not by Greene County. So the town board has to pass a resolution. Once that resolution is passed, they then bring a TE9A form to myself. I submit that to DOT. DOT then does their speed limit reduction investigation. The determination that is then presented to me, and then I present it to the towns, whatever the case may be, whether they do reduce it or they don't. And then we will then, either if it's a county road, we'll change the speed limit. But the New York State DOT determines all speed limits on town and county roads.
The highway superintendents or town boards go through you, doesn't go DOT to them.
It goes to both of us at the same time.
Okay.
So we get the notification at the same time. It goes to the sheriff's department and state police as well.
And sometimes it takes like 2 years
It
to
has,
hear from the state.
We had that whole issue on 140 at the school, right? We wanted to reduce the speed at the school entrance and the state said no.
The problem is if there's not a history of accidents on the road, that's the first thing the state says. If you want to reduce it, how many accidents have been there? And if you say, well, it's only a matter of time, they don't want to hear it.
yeah, I'm not sure what the exact formula is for their determining what the speed limit is, but they are the ones that control it. Good news, we've received 6 of our trucks, 2 international tandems, 3 single axle 4-wheel drives, and 1 single axle Freightliner. So when the snow does fly, we actually have equipment.
Are you well outfitted?
We do? Yes,
We have
Seal.
operators.
Signage?
yes. Drivers, on the other hand, we're still struggling with staffing, but
Get your CDL stuff.
as long as it's automatic.
There you go.
No double watching for you, huh?
Have everyone in your office be ready to go.
Solid waste department, we're doing well. Catskill residential drop-off area has been completed. Hopefully, everybody can get up there and take a look at it. I don't know if you've ever seen it prior to, but I think they did a fantastic job. Paul and Bob and Balkenberg Jr., they covering that. It does look very good. I think they did an excellent job. They're now working on the tipping floor. Keller is going a little slower than what we were anticipating, but they should be getting that done by mid-December.
Yeah.
So,
They've already begun on that one hand?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. How's your deflection working? Where are people going to Coxsackie or?
It is, there's a couple days after the holidays is usually kind of crazy anyways, so we're getting hammered a little bit right now, but previously it was working out.
Because
we're staying home 2 hours later, I mean.
Right,
Okay, yeah.
which we may have to, like we're just mentioning, just this afternoon, it's getting darker earlier.
Yeah.
So we might need to shift it.
Start at 6 AM?
5:30, it's pitch black out there.
Yeah.
We're gonna move forward with the tire machine. We had Wes and Joe, mechanics, go down and take a look at the machine. They thought it was a good machine. It's gonna work out for us. So we are gonna move forward with the purchase of that. Next month, along with the slides, I'd like to discuss the maintenance building and a new scale house for the Casco transfer station. Currently, Joe, our mechanic, is working right alongside our cardboard baler. Our insurance company is consistently telling us we need to get him out of there. This would allow us to possibly do things a little differently inside that building, but to get him out of the main building is crucial right now. Just for not only safety wise, but for the staff as well. Their break room it's dusty, it's
Disgusting.
it's not the not the best place for having a break room and staffing.
Where would you think this, I thought you couldn't
If
go
you,
one way there.
there are areas to the left of the building, kind of in the back where they're currently parking right now.
Uh,
So you pull off into the back area. So,
What are you looking, like a Butler building?
yeah, it's gonna be approximately 4,000 square feet. Maybe a little, because it's gonna have sewer and water. Maybe a little more expensive than what we just did for the drop-off area.
How old's the existing building?
1996.
96. I mean, the building's still I think in good condition with the tipping floor being replaced. I just think now, if we get Joe out of there with the two, the lifts that he has and all his equipment, all the storage that he has for the equipment, filters, fuel, liquids, and really, it will allow us to maybe bring in another baler in that building, bale plastics. Just gives us more opportunity to use that space.
We are new baler and our secondary market recycling effort.
Well, I mean, the secondary market's gonna be controlled by whatever the market conditions are, but it'll allow us to bale more efficiently, absolutely. So for the plastics or
I'm sorry, Paul?
I said for the next 4 years, it should be pretty good.
what should be good, I'm sorry,
The secondary market.
plastics.
The new EPA director?
Yeah.
I think that wraps up everything.
Scott, on the 20 leads project, 23B project, we haven't designated any kind of engineer yet. have we?
We have Barton LaJudas.
Warren LaJudas, okay. when you're meeting with them, to get some preliminaries.
We've met with them already. We're going to try to get something concrete. This process is new for us. We're going a little slower than most of our other projects just because it's new. I've never dealt with HUD before. Housing and urban development, never did an infrastructure project. So I want to make sure that we're doing everything according to their standards. They definitely have a lot more restrictions and requirements.
Are we able to take a look at that intersection with 26 or yield sign is? Yeah, no.
I did take a look at it.
The vegetation thing.
It is. I mean, we tend not to try to change existing, I mean, yield signs are still yield, you have to yield to oncoming traffic, so you might not have to stop technically, still have to stop. But we took a look at it, there really isn't, besides cutting back some of the brush, which our guys already have done. There shouldn't have been anything new really out there.
And I want to know you take a look at it. And timing, Charlie, especially affects you guys probably the Baltimore. Just so you're aware, tomorrow starts the road closure on County Route 61, where the Champlain Hudson Power Express line work is being done right there, just over in the Baltimore line.
Yes, I have to thank Ed and Pat for getting on this. Once I found out that they wanted to shut that road down for 3 weeks.
No school buses, no.
And it's a 25-minute detour. So
Yeah.
they jumped in and they are no longer doing that. They're gonna have one lane open at all times. So,
Yeah, so thanks for that in there.
yeah, that was a scramble for a little while.
Where are they? Might be up by Old Kings Road right? Is that where you're at? Heading south?
No, it's 61,
No.
right, coming right out of the village.
No, right out of the
River Road?
River, right by Navy's Farm.
That's where they came across.
It's where they're actually coming out of the railroad right away.
What do they plan on doing with our road there? That thing's.
They're going to rip it up
They put binder in it for now.
and then they're gonna replace it next year when they're finished. They're gonna pave that whole section.
They're putting in some big transfer piece of people underground.
Oh, no, I mean,
Apparently there's a conservation easement there
yeah,
that they were gonna stay away from. Given the okay to go across it. They don't have to go through it now.
Anyway,
or up here.
Bid number one, awarding bid of refuse removal for 2025.
Hobart.
Village and Hobart, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Number two, accepting total proposal for final design service for the slope failure recommendation on County Route 23B in Catskill.
Bueller.
Village and Lavera, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Number three, rescinding resolution 342-24, resolution authorizing the implementation and funding of the first instance 100% federal aid and state Marchicelli program aid eligibility cost of a transportation federal aid project and appropriation funds therefore. Martinez and Hobart, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number four, resolution authorizing, did I just do that? No. Number four, resolution authorizing the implementation and funding of the first instance 100% of federal aid and state Marchicelli program aid eligibility cost of a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefore. Linger, Hobart. Linger, Hobart, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number five, authorizing the highway department to enter into an agreement with CDM Smith for rehabilitation of Plateau Bridge over Plateau Creek bin 3-20102-0, town of Hunter, pin
1762.80.
I,
Village.
Leg and Buelich, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Number 6, authorizing change order number 1 necessary for the completion of replacement of County Route 67 Jack Arch Bridge over. I'm gonna butcher this one, Baker,
John DeBacher.
John DeBacher, Kill. CIN 67-06-180-GRN, Town of Greenville. Leg and Rivera, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Anything else to bring under public works committee?
Just a reminder, tomorrow night, the second ambulance meeting at 6 P.M. at the EOC. The third meeting, I'm having a venue problem right now, so I got a TBD for meeting number 3. I have a conflict with the EOC center.
We went to the high school then.
The high school is where I started to go from 2 meetings. The December meeting that was already booked for Christmas carol or something like that, so January meeting will be at the high school. December meeting, I gotta find a venue. Tomorrow night, we're at EOC 6 o'clock.
Did you check with the Carroll Elementary School?
Not yet, I just today.
Yeah.
that I'm out.
Yeah, Carroll Elementary is a central location. They're probably.
We're down the street.
Yeah.
old factory.
And if that doesn't work, call, Senior Center in Cooksaki. It's more than big enough. I mean, no, it's not in Carroll or Greene, but
I think that the other school would. I don't want to, because of the binders, I don't want to be in an auditorium. You know, you gotta put the binder on your lap. I want a desk, I want a cafeteria, maybe.
Cafeteria.
Yeah. But I just a reminder. tomorrow night.
That's plenty big enough there.
I need a motion to close.
so move.
Hobart and Linger, thank you.